Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of the 5D News. I'm Julie from Maison Jupiter, and I'm very happy to be with all of you tonight with my lovely sister, Sophie, which is going to be our oracle for tonight's show, answering all of our questions and resolving mysteries. How are you, Sophie?
Under pressure? No, I'm good. I'm good. Hello, everybody.
We're doing such a good job, and I see all the beautiful comments from you guys that are saying you are amazing at what you do. So thank you so much for shedding some light on a lot of mysteries and in the news, but also in the past and in the future. So I love it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We are November 28th already, the end of the month of November. And I just want to show you here on our YouTube channel, but also on our Rumble channel. We just put out this one. So this is the December Astro and Tarot predictions for all the 12 zodiac signs. So we talk about all the main astrology influences, but also we look at it from the tarot perspective for your personal predictions. So go check it out. This was a good one. And also we just produced the 5D deep dive, which was the part 2 of the Pluto in Aquarius, which is honestly fascinating stuff. So go check it out if you haven't already. The first one, the part 1 and the part 2. And of course, we are simulcasting here on our Rumble channel. So thank you for all your support. Do make sure you hit the like button on whatever platform you're watching this on. And also make sure you are subscribed. It really helps us into creating some more content for you guys. And I want to say also thank you to all the beautiful questions that I've looked at in the community. So many rabbit holes to go down. So little time, but so many great questions. So I put a lot of questions from the community tonight. I think it's going to be a fascinating show. Are you ready, Sophie? Would you like to say something before we start?
No, let's go. Let's get started.
All right. I love your energy. Amazing. Oh, this is not what I wanted to do here. So it's again this time of the year where I can blame everything on Mercury retrograde if I'm not doing something correctly. So I love it. Let's start with the Earth and the stars. And with that, I have a news item over here. So there's a volcano that was erupting again in Iceland. And I came across also a very interesting article here on Tariffs Galactic, which says that basically there is some kind of link between volcanoes in action, in eruption, and which have an effect on the Schumann resonance. And it says here in this article that a lot of healing stones are being created out of volcanoes, such as shungite from a volcano somewhere in Russia. Which helps detoxify, ease the nervous system, protect against EMF. So apparently there's a lot of good tools that are being born out of volcanoes. And of course, also having an impact on the Schumann resonance. So I'd like to ask you questions for the card. Why is this volcano erupting now? And what's the effect on our spiritual evolution?
Okay. Well, we start with the pot stirrer, so creating chaos. So this is a card that likes to show up a lot right now, and I have all of those to pick from. So very interesting that we have this. And the second card is the book. It says Secret, Unknown, and Mystery. So it's to force things to come out. It's to force secrets to come out. Let's get more. Oh, okay, understanding. Good. Karmic partnership is showing up. Commitment, contract, promises, shadow work, and the teacher. So a lot of it is to say it's a symbol, basically a symbol of we're purging and we are not going to accept the shadow anymore. We're not going to accept to stay in the dark, to stay in the lower frequency. And if it's creating those stones of protection and to purge the bad energy, this is just even more telling. It's I'm hearing the Twisted Sister in my head. Do you hear it too? That we're not going to take it.
We're not gonna take it.
Yeah. So apparently we do have souls that are ready in their soul contract for the next part. This is a card of commitment in the teacher. So the souls are ready for the next part of holding the vibration very high for this all of the truth to come in, holding also the vibration, your own vibration, and to heal others with all of those truths that are coming out. This is maybe not going to happen all at once, but we see it a lot in the card that a lot is coming through and a lot of information is coming out.
So as we say, as above, so below, as we're purging our physical bodies with the Pluto that just entered Aquarius, we also are purging, the Earth is purging the energy. And by doing that purge, also providing us with some healing tools. So, wow, beautiful. Okay, second question. So this is the sky that we have right now, well, from where we are in the Eastern time zone near Montreal, Canada. So, and right now, I don't know about where you are in the world right now, but we can see Jupiter as a super bright point right now in the sky that is truly amazing. So there, and right now we're in Sagittarius season. We have the upcoming new moon in Sagittarius, which is, and the ruling planet of Sagittarius is Jupiter. So there is a lot of emphasis on those themes of Jupiter and Sagittarius, which is about connecting to your guides, connecting with your higher self, the spiritual practices, seeing things from a higher perspective. So I'd like to know, like, what's the influence of seeing Jupiter being so bright right now in the sky? What do the cards have to say?
First of all, it's very cute because it says admired. So this planet likes to be seen, likes to be admired. So maybe it's a placement, I don't know, that it likes to be in. What we have next is the no return. So I don't know the astrology of this, but it says that the place that Jupiter holds right now is a place where it's actually doing a lot of good, and it's protecting, and it's just keeping something bad from happening. So I don't know. I will ask you after. I don't want to be influenced by anything you're going to say. It's also, when it comes to the feminine energy, it's preparing. It's preparing this feminine energy to come full force after a sudden movement of Jupiter. Interesting. And we have abandon. It's protecting the feminine energy. I don't know why. And on that picture that you just shown, it made a triangle. So it made the divine masculine symbol on that one. So I'm sure that it's not exactly the same. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. I was going to say, I'm sure it's not going to make the same exact triangle for everywhere in the world. Maybe it is.
It's depending on where you are, yeah.
It's holding the space for the feminine. And after a sudden movement of Jupiter, you're going to see that the feminine energy is going to come full force, very, very strong after this.
Wow. Okay. Well, one thing I can say is that I filmed a video that is going, well, that was yesterday that I put out the video of the new moon in Sagittarius. And I talk about how right now we have an opposition between Jupiter and Mercury. And Jupiter right now is not in a good position. But what's interesting about it, because it's in the opposing sign where usually it is strong. So it's in the opposing sign of Sagittarius. Right now it's in Gemini. But the opposition to Mercury, it's called a mutual reception. So it basically helps bridge polarities. It means that Mercury retrograde and Jupiter retrograde are working together, collaborating in order to bridge the polarity. So it doesn't make sense what you're saying, but I feel like it's working on more of a psychological level to transform us deeply, to remove some outdated beliefs, transform us on a very core level in order to prepare the big shift after the month of December.
What is really interesting is that, again, she's the astrologer, I'm not the astrologer, but from what I get is that if you remove Jupiter from where it is, the feminine energy would have a lot, I don't want to say attack because that's a big, strong negative word, but it would get a lot of nagging or a lot of irritation, and that Jupiter is protecting that feminine energy somehow.
Wow. Well, Jupiter is also called the great protector, the great benefactor. So we have like more protection. Wow, I love this. Okay, next story that we have here from Tim, who sent me that on the community. So there's an article here that says blue orb inadvertently filmed by news chopper over New York City. So apparently there was a blue orb here, and that's in the New York Post, so even more interesting. Or the photo was from New York Post. So can we ask what's the nature of this blue orb?
Okay, I'm not sure I understand. I will show you the cards. So we have this night and day card, we have this ascending card, and we had both in the picture. We have this solitude, we have this nostalgia, we have passion, awakening, and divine timing. So let me just take a few more cards and then we're going to see Ace of Pentacles, the World, Hierophant. So before I had that second round was about to say maybe it's fake. Why? It's just because of the both of the solitude, nostalgia. It doesn't like resonate with a lot, just the first row. But then we hit the second row. We have something real, something tangible, and then we have the placement is really important in the world. Okay,
in Manhattan.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have Hierophant. This is very important. So what is this about? I'm not exactly sure what it is about at this point. It was a symbol that was sent for somebody precisely. And let's ask who. My bet is that there is something significant that was taking place that day with the political climate, and that was a symbol for somebody there. I'm saying this because we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Wands, and the Strength. This is big energy. This is a lot of things are changing if there is not. Let me just show you this card. The card of the Wheel of Fortune is saying you need to U-turn. You need to stop that right now and turn around. And the Strength also. So there was something big going on that day, and this is a symbol that was sent to not continue on that path.
Do you think for the chopper? Was it a message for the pilot?
I don't think it was for the pilot. I think it was very much for political climate. I really think that was, it's kings. Absolutely. So let me ask one thing so it's clearer.
So it's Monday. I'm trying to look at the date.
I'm getting the same. So we have the Knight of Wands reverse, the King of Wands reverse, the Death card, and the Seven of Swords. It's a message to stop a path that was really wrong path. It says, no, this is the wrong path. Turn around. So this is off-worlders, possibly really a sign of for somebody taking a big decision that would impact the world to stop.
Do you think it had to do with WAR? trying to prevent like the actions that were in the midst of being taken?
I think it could have been about this and more.
Okay.
Because of how big and long lasting this would have affected the world.
Okay. Wow. So that seems like it's a big deal.
Yeah. And somehow this energy succeeded, because we do see that it has
Wow.
more of beautiful cards showing up when I ask about the result of it. We do have a signature or promise, and we do have this a very good energy of the Four of Wands, stability. So it has been a success, but I think we catch on something that we were not supposed to know or see.
So we're still under the Jupiterian protection. I love it. Wow. Okay. Another question from Carolyn Blindesen. Is it true we are being told that cows are the biggest contributor to climate change? My thoughts are this is a deep state agenda. Thank you. Mine too, but let's just ask the cards for fun. Are cows the biggest contributor to global warming, climate change?
Of course not. It says not. Absolutely no. Absolutely no. Let me just check the second row. This is no. It says it's a mirror to, I'm not going to say that second word, but absolutely not. It's just pointing the finger at something that they can, because they cannot change something else. So they're pointing the finger at somebody that cannot defend themselves. Let me check with second row. No. Absolutely not. Again and again and again, it's saying that society, people who have power to make change don't want to change because they're used to one way. And instead, they're just blaming something else. Yeah, they're just creating a lot of division and a lot of chaos. Nah, it's not true.
Poor cows. They're being blamed.
I know.
Okay, let's switch gears. We're going to talk a little bit about politics because it's a hot topic right now. So first, I just saw this on Tuesday that was announced. So Trump just announced that there's going to be tariffs on Canada, China, Mexico. So basically, it says here, U.S. President-elect Trump said, as one of his many first executive orders, he will charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the U.S., which will remain in effect until drugs, in particular fentanyl, and all illegal aliens stop invading the U.S. So this is huge, and we're Canadians, so I was reading that. I'm like, what will be the effect on this for Canada's economy? So can we ask the cards, what will be the effect on this new executive order on the side of Canada's economy?
And we had this in the cards previously. I remember we asked about this and we had this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Usually you don't remember, and I'm the one who remembers, so.
I know. It's Mercury retrograde. Okay. Yeah. It says pause. And the first card is pause. So Canada is going to stop growth for a little bit, and stop also buying. So not stop, pause. So that means trying to slow down on what is not necessary and what can have. We are going to look at other options. We do have the ship, so it could be sent from other countries, farther away. It says departure, adventure, and travel. Yeah, so pause and travel. It's not saying anything about Canada money per se yet. We're going to check in the two card that fell also, but we know that they're going to have to change how they do commerce with the world. Then we have this card. and we have the card of desire. That is the next one. And I'm going to pull 4 cards of tarot as well. 9 of Swords, the Sun, the Lovers, and the 8 of Swords. 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so what we have here is that Canada is going to try to change that. So there is going to be a lot of meetings, some meetings between the two leaders to make some kind of arrangement. But we have 4 of Pentacles. So Trump is very is standing his ground and doesn't want to do a lot of change in this. But we do have some kind of compensation, some kind of compromise because of this Ace of Wands and the Page of Swords. We do have a kind of compromise that is going to be made, the Knight of Wands. So a new exchange. And I'm just going to take 2 cards here. So about just the money for Canada, I don't see it's going bad. I don't. I do see a change of leader, though.
Well, hooray for all Canadians.
Yeah, but at first, with this, the money is going to stir a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But then we have the Sun card. So it's okay. We're good.
Okay, well, next one. So this is an article from Zero Hedge here that says Ukraine's former top military commander claims World War III has officially begun. So we've learned recently that in the last months that Biden has to be in control of the US, that he decided to make some really destructive moves over there in Ukraine and to launch a lot of weapons. So, and here he says, like, I believe that in 2024, we can absolutely believe that the Third World War has begun. So can we ask the cards, will we see an escalation of World War III with the situation in Ukraine, possibly before Trump steps in?
Yeah, I'm going to watch my words and my answer. So that's the first card. And
I have a war card. Okay.
And it says over the top, and it says Parasite. So Parasite is actually a good card in a sense because it says that there is something to be removed and they know exactly what needs to be removed. So it's not like chaos, but I know exactly what's to need to be removed. Yeah. We have purpose with this card of the piano. So again, it's very clear, and endings. I don't think it's going to be a long time if there is such a thing. It says transformation. I think there is, like I said, a very clear thing that they are trying to achieve, and they're going to want to do it one way or another. The 10 of Swords underneath the military man, the King of Pentacles underneath the Parasite, the Knight of Pentacles underneath the purpose, the 6 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Pentacles. So what it says is that this was not supposed to happen.
Mm-mm.
This is the card of backstab. This was not supposed to happen. Something happened where it's a complete backstab, and the Parasite needs to be removed. It's in the King of Pentacles. I'm watching my words, so I'm going to leave it there. For those of you who knows, you know. And it says that it was not supposed to last that long. With the card of the purpose, we have the slowest card in the deck. It was not supposed to last that long. The good deal here is that the ending is with the 6 of Pentacles, and that underneath the deck I have the agreement of the 2 of Cups. So when the Parasite is gone, we're going to have an agreement that is going to end something,
yeah,
and transform something. I do have to say that the last card that I have is a transformation with the 5 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. That means that because of what has been done, there is a certain association of either countries, leaders, whatever, that is going to leave someone out or multiple someone out because of the actions. So people are going to receive consequences of their choices because of it. If there is an escalation, which I think there may be one, but a very short time.
Yeah.
We're going to see that the people who have been doing the wrong things are going to get consequences.
Well, for sure, it exposes like the agenda of the dark state, especially months away from a new leadership saying that he's going to stop this war. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right. Last question in this category from Sugar Inaz. Could you also do a read on the people that Trump is putting in place in Congress? Is there something else going on that we have not been made aware of? Because some of them have been rumored to be dodgy people in the past. So can we just pull cards quickly in order to see why are those people being placed in the Congress by Trump? Why did he choose them? Is there a reason?
So I will do general, but I will not do one by one because I would
No.
Yeah. But the one by one will give us a clear answer on each. But since
let's go generally speaking.
Yeah. It says gift, job offer, reconciliation, promotion, unexpected income, power, wealthy man, okay, rejection, big news movement. So there's 2 ways that can go so far. We can see that it has promoted people who has been on his side for a long time. And this is his way of paying back for the things that things have been done for him in the past, and leaving a lot of people behind with this rejection cards. Okay. Or it can talk about
doesn't want to make too many enemies.
Yeah, Ace of Cups with this offer, King of Wands, the power with the Queen of Wands, very strong. So let's see, what is the big picture here? A rejection with the Empress. We know who that is. I'm sure you know who that is, that woman that was left behind of the power. Okay, so when it comes to those people, it says they are all aligned to serve that kind of purpose. And they are all aligned to not all will last. Not all will last. At least 1 or 2 are going to not continue in this, okay? Not all will last, but they are going to help to rebuild. And those who stays, of course, not those who are going to go away. But what I'm seeing here is that you need to be a certain kind of person to be elected by Trump in this. And from what I can tell from those cards, the Emperor, the 7 of Wands, very weird 7 of Wands. It's not defending itself. It's walking away from the attacks. And the Ace of Sword. You need to have that vision that you're not losing time with opposition. You're not losing time with responding with attacks because those people are trying to distract you. Those people who are being selected are people who had a lot of adversity and have decided you're not worth it. So that's the kind of people that are being elected. And that's I say elected, that's not the right word, but you know what I'm saying. Totally. And serving a purpose of being together in this vision to match well together. So sometimes it's not about being the best at it. It's about we're merging and we have the same vision. Yeah. So you're going to be able to learn during the first month, and I'm going to teach you, but you have the right mindset. I want you for that role.
And he cannot be against just everybody at the same time. So he has to make allies, even though they might not be 100% clean, I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Next category, we're going to talk about a little bit about nutrition and consumption. We had a lot of questions in that department regarding all the polemics that we stirred in the last shows. So let's talk briefly about this question from Sarah Jones. So she wants to say, does cannabis use diminish spiritual connectivity? She says, I have heard this. However, when I use it, I have amazing meditation moments. So does cannabis use diminish spiritual connectivity?
We have the card of the red flag and we have the card of the fall. It is, yeah, it says stop and despair. So yes, it affects, and it affects by pulling your energy lower frequency. And I have, again, our dad talking when I'm saying this, because that's one of the things that he had observed over the years. But now that I'm seeing the cards, I understand why he was saying this.
Maybe because like it's a slippery slope to fall into addiction, or
not even. Really, the vibration of it,
the frequency of it is a downer. Yeah,
it's a downer. So when I'm looking at the card, I have only one card that is reversed. It's the Magician. It's like your power. It's an it's really weird, because with this, it's like your power has a kind of a vertigo. It's not aligned correctly, and you're not able to connect with source, and you're not able to manifests in the same way. So of course, I know there is tons of medical use. Use it for medical use if you like it, and if that resonates with you. We're not here to judge anything. But when it comes to that element that is more of the psychologic, and I'm trying to watch the words, but you know what I'm saying. This is the part where they're not aligned, I think, the cards with what you're doing, because it's just blocking your power. And the card of despair is with the 8 of Wands. A lot of energy sent to you that maybe you're picking up on others' energy if it's around you.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe it makes you more permeable to receive, like, let's say, parasites, other entities that are not for your highest good.
Yeah, and it's just, again, that card of the red flag, and with the card of the Justice, it's kind of a red flag for your balance also. It's showing another side of you that is not the best, and that could be, like you said, from others. The last one that I want to show you is the card of stop. We have death and rebirth. So that's a clear stop. It needs to stop completely. Yeah.
It's interesting because like so many people in the spiritual communities advocate for the use of plant medicine. But personally speaking, like I'm not judging. I respect everybody else's feeling or opinion on that, but I've never felt drawn to that. Like I've always felt like it's a process that needs to happen within yourself. But of course, that's a lot of people have different opinions. But thank you for the cards. It sheds a light definitely on that. And we have another question from Julia Mullen. She says, "Love you, ladies. What a great team." Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Julia. Have you talked about cacao or chocolate, and would that be the same as what was indicated for coffee? So that raised a lot of questions when you pulled for coffee. So we're going to ask that as two separate questions, because cacao is like the raw plant or fruit, or I don't even know how we should call that. But then we're going to ask about processed chocolate, which is a processed food.
Yeah.
So let's start first with cacao. So what's the spiritual effect of cacao?
And we know that there is less and less cacao and anything chocolate, that they have a lot of viruses with those plants. I think that's a seed. So, I mean, when you were asking about fruit, or it's a seed, but they have a lot of problems. So you're going to see less.
This that we're seeing here, I think this is the fruit, because this is kind of has a sugary taste, and then you let it in your mouth, and then there's the seed that is the cacao seed that they dry and then use it to produce the chocolate.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's see. So cacao alone, what is the vibration of it and the effect on the body, please? Body, mind, spirit.
So raw cacao.
I get the card of this word I cannot say. I cannot say it.
No.
So I still get that, but let's see what card goes underneath because the rest are good. So I'm going to show you the rest.
I wasn't aware that we couldn't say that word.
Sorry?
I wasn't aware that we couldn't say that word.
There's a lot of words we cannot say.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we have admired, we have the teacher, we have passion, and we know that there is a lot of use of this fruit in a lot of ceremony and aphrodisiacs and everything. We have the karmic. So let's see underneath what we have, because I'm really interesting to see what the second one, what is this about? So the King of Wands, the Magician.
We're talking about unprocessed cacao, just to make sure that the cards are picking on this
process. Yeah, absolutely. So it says that if it's unprocessed, we have no worries. The card of the world has this little vegetation right there. So to confirm that if it comes from a natural source, we're good. And we have the balance. That's the only thing that they're talking about in a negativity with this second card, the word that I cannot say. It's just because if you are dependent on this is still not okay. So the balance is there, the magician is there. You should not be dependent on anything. That's why they're showing this card.
Because it's a stimulant, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because it will slow down other stuff as well if you are dependent on something. I'm just very intrigued, in fact, by those two cards of the karmic partner and the Knight of Wands.
Well, I did a cacao ceremony when I was in DR at some point, and it was really like heart opening. And maybe there's a link with the heart chakra, the karmic partner. I don't know, but definitely there is a connection there.
Absolutely. We have the card of the Passion with a 10 of Wands underneath. And we have the Teacher with the Page of Wands. A lot of fire energy. Wands are fire energy. The karmic is with the Ace of Wands, the Nine of Wands, which is 10, if you put them together, and the Page of Swords. So with those cards, it says basically that this is used in ceremonies, used in a way that is spiritual. It opens up a lot of your blockages, a lot of your old karmas. It calls in a lot of stuff that you have to clear, and it's coming to you in a way that you are ready. You are asking for it, so you should use it in a way that is conscious. That's why probably they're using this element, because you're calling in a lot of stuff to purge. So if you're not ready, and if there is a processed food and it's sugar and stuff, this is just calling in stuff and you're not ready for it.
Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but that's really interesting. So should we pull maybe one or two cards just for the chocolate? Because I do have an idea what the cards are going to say, but let's just ask for the sake of asking about processed chocolate and what's the effect on the body, on the spiritual evolution.
It's really not good. I'm just going to this. It's really not good. Not only, again, we have the mirror. I don't know what is this about, but I know I saw a lot of comments on the mirror. Thank you so much, guys. I love it. You're like my spies. I love it. But we had this scandal. It says dishonor and sin, and it says gullible. I will make you feel foolish. Like I said, the cacao is, I think, very sacred, and it should be used in with a lot of conscious.
Mm-hmm.
I will feel guilty now, but you should really use it in a way that is conscious.
Sacred ceremonies, when you're like putting intentions out there.
Yeah, when it's mixed with a lot of other stuff, you are calling it, I want to say problems, literally. You're calling in bad vibration. Yeah. Yeah. 8 of Cups. It's just, you're calling in things that you need to be ready for. So if you're strong enough, if this is something you're doing your work, you're doing your shadow work, you're conscious of your energy, you're clearing your energy, I don't think that's a big problem. But if you're not, it could bring more problem to your life.
Okay, well, let's start right now. It's sad, but yet so true. Okay, next question and last one in this category from Mary Lou Ferricane. Thank you so much about your beautiful question, Mary Lou. She says, I have questions about holidays, but I think she's asking the question more like generally speaking about all the holidays within the year, but we're going to focus on the holiday period, which is Christmas, let's say December, New Year, Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating. But those holidays. And she says, we know the deep state or whatever, or whoever changed our calendar and transform our natural, physical, mental, spiritual cycles of time and space into a prison. They changed many of our indigenous holidays as well. Did they actually change all of this consciously to trap us so they could suck our energy dry? And wait a second, because we're going to ask another question. She says, as much as I used to love holidays with families and friends, it was so draining for everyone. Every year, new accessories or traditions were created by advertising to sell us something new, seemingly to add to the drain of money, health, and energy. So I thought that was such a good point that she's making. Like cards, games, gift, movies, song, book, food, candy, drinks, drugs, and the list goes on. I see it more that now that I'm older, wiser, and living my life and celebrating holidays in a totally different way. So this is such a good point because like a lot of people experience like being drained, and not only from seeing the family, but also from the consumerism and the bad food, like the fatty, sugary food that we're eating also. So were the holiday, let's say of December and January, were consciously created to become a trap instead of a celebration of love, life, harvest, and creation?
Oh, absolutely. It says, I will try to make you insane. So that's the gaslighter. Absolutely. And she's smoking. So it's also like, it's
sorry, about tapping into the sins or the bad habits.
The dependence. So where you think you're going to have a nice time and where you think you're going to have some kind of a vacation, holiday, some kind of fun, you're enabler. I will try to make you do the work. So honestly, it feels like you think you're going to have such a nice time and you do all of those things because you expect that it's going to be good. But we have the divine masculine, the Capricorn energy, and the pause, the desire. You just end up not feeling that great. You're just end up putting a lot of expectation and a lot of stress over it. So that's what they're trying to do with this. I don't think they realized all of the power that it could have. I will give it that. I don't think that they realized from the start that this was supposed to be this way. I just think that it becomes such a monster over the time. But I think that's Constantin, right? That changed the holidays.
The calendar, the Gregorian calendar. But the holidays, I don't know.
Constantin. When it changed the holidays and took like the pagan ones and tried to make it so the intent was not that bad. The intent was that people would make the switch from the old religion to the new one more easily. That was simply
changing the symbols, changing a little bit of like the intentions, but not so bad. Yeah,
not so bad, but it became really, really bad
when it was a consumerism monster.
It became horrible, especially when you're using children, because that's what they did at the end. I'm going to spare you a few cards, but it says that at the end they just went for creating, it says, manipulation towards children over the holidays. So we can think about Easter, where it doesn't make sense that we have bunnies and eggs for somebody being born again, right?
Well, it's birth, it's the birth, it's resurrection.
It's fertility.
Yeah. But yeah, I do understand what you're trying to say. Like, that's the pagan tradition that's also merged with the Christian symbolism.
So if you're feeling, just to finish on this, if you're feeling extremely drained in everything, the card that I'm getting on top of the deck is the anxiety, losing money, heartbreak, and this mental loop, because every corner of the year now has this kind of celebration where you're putting a lot of expectation, and society is putting a lot of expectation on you, and you have the pressure from the children, and then it's just exhausting. So yes, you're right.
So how can we celebrate the holiday period, like, to, let's say, emphasize the love, the connection to the people we love? Like, how can we celebrate it in a way where it's going to support our spiritual ascension?
It says to destroy completely those holidays, how we're doing it. And it says to simply show up, just to be together. That's what it says. To simply be together is the key of it, and destroy the vision, destroy the expectation, destroy it.
Everything will be perfect. You're gonna host a perfect dinner with the perfect family.
The tower
never happens like we want to.
No, and it's exhausting. On top of the card of destruction, I'm getting the tower. It's time to destroy this, and it's time to just show up.
Prioritize human connection, presence, quality time.
It says not every time, of course, it's possible, but to be in nature together, to do something outside together, to close all of the technology, to just be together, present. It says, when I split the deck, we have this card also. So to create something together.
It always looks like a board game to me.
Yeah, it's true.
Playing games, creating stuff together.
Yeah, it's the coming together and to be united. Mainly those cards are saying if you can be in nature, but if not, just create something together and show up. And close your phone, close the TV, no music at all if you can. I mean, unless you do it, just relax and be together.
Oh, I love this. Okay, we're gonna transform our holidays, Sophie, if you're ready. We're already doing a lot of that stuff, but we'll disconnect completely this holiday season. Okay, next category. We've asked questions about the LGBTQ flag the other day, and we compared it to the Cusco one. And thank you to Shang9484 who answered, because I didn't even notice that indeed there are 7 colors here in the Cusco flag and in the rainbow. And in this flag, there are only 6. So this individual answered, the rainbow has 7 colors like the chakras. LGBT only has 6. They removed the union of Christ consciousness color. Purple, basically they say that purple is missing, but from what I see here, it's the light blue that is missing.
It would be white, I think. I'm not the best at it, but I think that whenever I do my 7 colors to cleanse myself, it's the white that is missing from this.
No, because this is the heart, the green, and then that would be the throat chakra. This is indigo, and this is your crown connection here.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
So technically, if we use like the order, and of course this is inverted, but if we use the order of the colors, that would be the throat that is missing and not the purple like in the comment. But anyways, that just, to me, that was a big aha moment that, yeah, indeed, there's a color missing. So why did they remove the light blue color from the LGBT? Or just one color that is missing?
So we have mystery, secret, unknown. Insight, Vision, Psychic. What is this about? Oh, okay. Oh, no. Okay, we're going to have another interesting glitch. Okay, so let's put on this very clear statement here that I'm not criticizing anything. I'm just reading the cards.
Yeah.
Apparently, whoever created the flag is someone with bad intentions. Okay. Yeah. So if you are loving anybody, love anybody. As long as you're in a love frequency, I love you. But whoever created the flag.
Yeah, we're talking about the agenda, not
Exactly.
being rude. We're talking about the agenda behind the flag.
I think that person is even like not liking the gays. That's how far it goes.
Well, for sure, you don't like humanity if you don't want them to connect fully throughout their 7 chakras.
Especially speaking up, especially losing the power of speaking up for yourself. We have the Death card, the Three of Swords, which are not the best cards. So what I'm seeing with this is that the person who created the logo, I think there was some kind of a wanting to limit themselves, and you still using the symbol of the rainbow for the collective subconscious, for this symbol, still wanting to use this to appear a certain way, but still kind of putting a kind of a curse on this. So very powerful, but not with the best intent, because the last card that and it's very much about the money. We have business with the 6 of Pentacles underneath, okay? So whoever did this had a lot of partnership with big companies and money because of it. And I would say that's the only intent. So we have the Death card with this very horrible card. It says fearless, determined, and gutsy. And we have the Death card. Then we have ending and a Three of Swords, which is typically a heart with 3 swords in it. Never really cared about who was in that movement, but just wanting to benefit from that movement. And I would put it even worse, wanting to curse that movement, the people in it, and take on from that suffering. We know that pharmaceutical are having the benefit of people who are sick. We know that.
Yeah.
So just with that logic.
Yeah, for sure. They were being used for an agenda. And it's interesting that now we're talking about the throat chakra, which is a power center, right? So it's your center to express your individuality. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting that you should be, let's say, proud to celebrate like your uniqueness and your choices, but yet you're not able to express your authenticity and your own power because of this curse, which is really weird, right?
Absolutely. But I think it goes even further than this, because we have the 8 of Wands with the card of solitude. So hear me out. I think that what it says is that by showing up with this, I'm this or I'm this, especially without the throat chakra, it's basically you're creating this energy of Mercury retrograde for all the people underneath that
identify themselves with that flag.
Yeah. So it accelerate them to be isolated. You're creating even more split and polarity. You're preventing them to communicate better and to join the world and just to say, hey, I'm this and you're not this, and have fun. I mean, whoever cares about this. But instead, it's just polarity. So this is the tribe, and we're seeing that he is tied up. So it's just blocking a lot of people from having just, hey, it's normal. It's part of life. Deal with it. It's nothing special. they're making such a big deal with that flag and removing the possibility of communication that they're creating polarity.
And also being part of a herd as of like really going through the process of individualization, where that should be the case. Wow. Interesting. Thank you for that comment. That made me realize that we missed something here. Okay, so another interesting one that I didn't think we would go in, but that raises a lot of interesting questions. So here there's a video from Sadhguru who talks about the power of semen retention. And we have a question from Christian in the community that says, can you guys look into semen retention? So there's a lot of different theories there, especially in the spiritual community. Some people say that men will, let's say, let go of a lot of vital energy throughout this process. Okay, Mercury retrograde interruption here. So we're talking about semen retention. So there's a lot of different theories, especially in the spiritual community, how men should or shouldn't practice semen retention. And from what I've heard, and I'm far from being an expert on that field, but from what I've heard, men and women will use their energy, their vital energy, their sexual energy in a different way. And from what I've heard, for women, going through that process of orgasm is not a depletion of energy, but from what I've heard, for men, it would be. So hence why there's a lot of spiritual teachers and people out there talking about how it's beneficial for men. But there's like both theories going on, how it's good or it depletes your energy. So can we look at it? Is the practice of semen retention positive on a spiritual level?
Yeah, let's see. And I heard that too before.
I heard helping the spiritual evolution for men.
Yeah, I heard that the men chi is very much being taken while the semen is going out. So yeah, I heard that. Let's see the card. What do you have to say? No, it says that holding on actually is very bad. Like drastically
or dramatically?
Yeah, okay, both. Apparently, both. Apparently, it's really bad. So this is here holding on tightly to something. And then we have this card of the whirlpool. We have this card of forbidden planet. We have this ending lost and a lot of big cards. So it affects also with the fertility, apparently. For the fertility, a certain amount can be really good, but apparently it affects also fertility if you're doing it possibly in an excess. So let's just pull some.
Doing the retention, you mean?
The retention in an excess. So if you're doing the retention in excess, it's really bad. It's really bad. Okay, so let's see why. And I know I heard a lot of people, I'm just reading a card, but I know why people are saying it's good. It keeps your energy, your hormones, you're just having more motivation, more energy. But basically it says that it can also be too much. So I think it's a question of balance. Okay?
Yeah.
So when it's too much, we have this accumulation of 10 of Pentacles, and it bursts, and it can be bursting again, fertility for some reason. This burst is going to influence your hormones, influence your relationship, how you respond to other questions, to people, so maybe somebody asks you something and you're going to be in anger, or you're going to snap at them, or you're going to be too quick. So it affects your chemicals in your brain. Mm-hmm. And affects your hormones a lot in a way that is not positive. So there is a balance to be have in here.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. So I guess if you have like something really important, like let's say athletes sometimes do that, mm-hmm. when they have like a big championship, and because they want to focus their aggressivity, energy, masculine energy into something, that makes sense. But mm-hmm. not a long-term thing.
Or a creative project, if you have
Yeah.
a creative project too, because you need that. But again, an excess is going to be really bad for you.
Okay. Well, we asked. Thank you so much for answering. And last one, maybe, and I have so many great ones, so I'm gonna take some for next week, because thank you so much from the community. Great questions. So the next one from Sherry Smith. What's the power of the number 13? And there's like a preface to that question. She says Yeshua/Jesus had 12 disciples. There are 12 chakras if we take in consideration the upper ones and the lower ones. 12 zodiac signs. There are a multitude of other 12s. And I have been taught that we are here to master the qualities of the sign, sun, and moon that we are born into. Also, the chakras are focused into mastery, balance, optimization to achieve a level of enlightenment. But there are also other spiritual theories that include the number 13, which apparently is linked to the divine feminine. There's a lot of theories about the 13th disciple, the 13th zodiac sign, and so on and so on. So what's the true power of the number 13?
And I think that's such an important question, because we have been like removing the floor 13. We have been removing, like, and if you go to hotels or big buildings, sometimes you have 12 and then 14th floor, you don't have the 13. It has been a big deal. So
Yeah, it has been demonized by the church for sure, for a reason.
The card that flew out is a rich woman, and it's the card of independent, leader, and inheritance. So this is already the energy of the witch, the energy of the independent woman. And it says boundaries, so keeping you away from that energy of this woman. And it says reunion and celebration. So we're going to embrace really this 13 again in the world. But right now we're seeing that this energy is taboo, bad, hijacked. It's a very powerful, positive energy of 13. Again, like everything, your intentions are what is really what's matter. So if you are putting a 13 somewhere with in mind a hijack version, it's going to affect it. If you're putting a 13 somewhere and thinking bad luck, it's going to affect it. Mm-hmm. If you're putting 13 as the divine feminine, it's going to affect it as well. So with anything, your intentions matter. And with this one, the vibration is the one that is the divine feminine, the fertility, the independence, the creation, magical powers. But we have been seeing this completely taking away from society in many, many places.
And that's interesting also because there are 13 moon cycles in a year. So that's why also I believe one of the main reasons why it's associated with the divine feminine, because the divine feminine cycles are synced with the moon cycles.
There's 13 months.
So we ovulate 30 times in a year. So we're very connected to the moon. And we know that we have been shifting from a 13 moon based calendar to a 12-month calendar when they switch. So, and I know with that, a lot of people are going to tell me like that there's 13 sign in astrology. Personally, I've tried to look at the Ophiuchus zodiac sign, the constellation. I do not, in my own practice, think that it works for the charts that I've worked with, but that's personal. Maybe I'll explore even more than that. Astrology just really works as it is, in my opinion. But like, I'm open to evolution in whatever department and form that wants to come to us.
Yeah, so you have to go with what resonates with you for sure, and you have to listen to it, and especially when it's your art and you work with this every day. So thank you for writing.
But 13 is definitely a big mystery that I feel like is going to be even more and more revealed. And maybe that's like a culmination of all the 12. 12 represents also the entirety of creation. 3 times 4, so 4 elements. In astrology as well, like we work with modalities elements. So I feel like 13 is like the perfection or the culmination, the divine aspect maybe of all there is.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if that makes sense. Well, that was a good one. I have so many more questions, but I will keep some for next one, of course. And I just want to say right here, for everybody who would like to book a one-on-one consultation with Sophie, you can do it right now. You have a little bit of availabilities before the holidays, right?
I do, yes. So right now is the time to book, because I'm guessing that during Christmas it's going to go fast, and people who wants to get the full year ahead reading or part of it or whatever is coming next for them, it's going to be the time to book right now.
Yeah, so do it before the others. Now is the time, like Sophie said. The link is down below if you'd like to book a one-on-one consultation where you can ask all of your personal questions. You can look at the year ahead, the next months ahead, decisions that might come up for you. And don't forget to enter Jupiter as your discount code to get 10% off your next reading. Again, the link is down below. Thank you so much, Sophie, for answering all of our amazing questions. And thank you, community members, for your beautiful questions. Thank you for being with us. Don't forget to hit the like button if you did enjoy the content of this show. And we'll see you very soon. I just want to show the schedule right quickly before we go. So we are here, and then Solrita has her Q&A, live Q&A class for the Aura course. This is the second one. So if you have been taking the Aura course, this is now. And then tomorrow, Friday, we have the Sagittarius New Moon Astrology and Activation that is going to be live with myself and Elena, if you'd like to anchor in the higher frequencies of this new moon. This is the time to do so, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then at 8 p.m., we have the live galactic show with the beautiful Solrita. Join us over there and have a beautiful rest of your week, everybody. Bye.